Lawrence with the first overall pick. The main storyline for Jacksonville this offseason has been whether or not they'll sign Tim Tebow as a tight end. When asked to give a Tebow timeline update this weekend, Urban Meyer said, quote, "I've leaned on my staff for that, and I imagine a decision is going to be soon. We'll have a chat on Sunday." Greg Jennings, do you think Tebow would be a positive addition to the new look Jags?
All right. So I like Tim Tebow as an individual. I really do. I do not, however, like this situation. And for various reasons, but primarily the one that we're talking about it right now. The fact that they drafted the number one over pretty much a consensus number one that was going to be taken by the Jacksonville Jaguars. And now we're talking about a guy who has been out of the league for years. That's already not positive. That's taking away from what we're trying to do and what we're trying to build with a young team and with this guy at Trevor Lawrence at quarterback. And so you bring Tim Tebow in, a guy who, yes, he's won a lot in college. He hasn't won anything in the National Football League. And then you ask him to switch positions. And yes, he may provide some great flair and some flash here and some gadgets here and some opportunities there. But is he going to be effective as far as the growth of your young quarterback and your offense moving forward? And my answer to that would be no. If you're not going to know exactly what you can get out of Tim Tebow and he's a younger player, why would you even entertain that? And so for me, I don't think that this would be a positive takeaway. You might get some spurts. You might get a flash. You might get a great little taste of something here or there, but it won't be constant. I just don't see it happening. I don't even want to go in any further because it's going to seem like I'm bashing Tim, and Tim is a great guy. But as far as a football player, that was in college. And his pro career, it just needs to be left where it was.
If they choose to add him to the team, then he's going to be a positive addition. We don't have to try to qualify it by what he accomplishes. He doesn't have to catch one pass. He doesn't have to dress for one game. He doesn't have to be an all-pro. He doesn't have to be a Pro Bowler. He doesn't have to be a Super Bowl champ or a contributor on the field during game day to be a Super Bowl champ. What he has to do is be the best teammate that he can be and employee that he can be to that Jaguars team. One thing that when I heard this conversation continue to be debated and talked about as to this whole conversation with Tim Tebow, the conclusion I kept coming to is, why would Urban Meyer do this? Why would he put himself in this position? But then I started thinking to myself, would Urban Meyer really sacrifice what's most important to him, which is what, guys? Winning. He's always won. He's not going to put himself in a position to lose. He was at Bowling Green. Y'all know what his record was? 17-6. Can y'all tell me one player that Urban Meyer had on Bowling Green? No, I'll guarantee you, I'll put my house on it. Don't none of y'all know any of the players that Urban Meyer had on that 17-6 team. You know why? Because nobody cared. But now Urban has won 17-6 at Bowling Green. Oh, he left, went to Utah. Maybe you thought it was just a fluke. He did even better, 22-2, and had an overall number one pick in Alex Smith come out of that program. Then he goes to Florida, wins national championships, 65-15. Okay, then he goes to Ohio State. He only went 83-9, and you can name players off of those teams, of course. Bigger programs, bigger spotlight. But one thing remained the same, success. And one thing I know about success at my age right now, today, it is not by accident. It is by design. And Urban Meyer is not going to make a decision that is going to alter his success by design. So I don't look at him being a not positive addition to this team. Whatever addition he's made as this team member, it will fit whatever the design and the process of trying to win that Urban Meyer has done so well and so brilliantly throughout the course of his entire career.
Well, first, let me say this. I don't have a problem with Tebow getting this opportunity. I know that was a topic of discussion at one point, too. I would have actually had more of a problem with it had he gotten an opportunity at quarterback. because we know he cannot play quarterback in the NFL. He wasn't good, 8 years ago? You know he's not going to be good now. So I don't have a problem with him getting a look-see at tight end. Let's see what he can do. But secondly, I'm with Greg Jennings, and I'm glad that Greg has come back to his senses after talking that nonsense about owning me on the basketball court last segment. So, but no, I'm with Greg. Look, I understand Tim Tebow is a great leader. He's a great influence in the locker room. I understand he is a tremendous competitor, and I understand the hope that would be contagious on a team that's lost 15 straight games. Maybe that spreads throughout the locker room. I understand he's a strong Christian, as is Trevor Lawrence. So maybe they could develop like a big brother, little brother type relationship. I get all that. But I think the negatives still outweigh the potential positives. Because here's the thing. What on the field, I don't see one thing on the field he's going to do. I mean, people talk about tight end. Can he catch? I don't mean catch playing toss. I mean catch a ball that's thrown on fire from Trevor Lawrence. Can he catch in traffic? Can he catch when he knows he's about to get clocked? All right, that's number one. Number two, if they're thinking, about trying to play him like Taysom Hill, I'm sorry. If I'm Trevor Lawrence, the last thing I want, as much as I may like and admire Tim Tebow, the last thing I want is another quarterback coming in every third series and doing some gadgetry. I want to be out there on every series, and I need to be out there on every series. And here's the other thing, guys. What if Trevor Lawrence struggles? Which rookies may do. He very well may struggle. What if, he doesn't look good the first few games, they're losing continues.
Nobody hollering for no Tim.
Don't you do that,
Don't you do that on national life. Don't you do that. Skip and Shannon might not bring us back to the show after that. Don't you say that.
They are 1 hour from Gainesville, where Tim Tebow was a hero. You don't think some of those crazy fans might start saying, heck, Trevor's not ready. Let's throw Tebow in for now, just until Trevor gets ready. He showed in Denver he can win games. He's a winner. He's got character. I get it.
That is the longest reach in the history of this show.
Some of these fans are crazy, and they love Tim Tebow in Florida. And I'm just saying, like Greg said, that becomes a potential distraction that I don't need. He's a celebrity.
You
don't need your backup quarterback or backup anything to be a celebrity. So
he's not a backup quarterback.
Listen, Chris, I know you went on a good rant there, and you're coming up with these crazy Tebow theories. That was the worst take you've had all show.
Worst
Tim
ever.
Tebow is going to be great for this Jacksonville locker room. Chris, have you looked at that Jacksonville offensive roster and just seen the depth chart and how young this team is? They're going to be maybe the first or second youngest team in the league. A lot of guys who never have won anything in the NFL. As you eloquently remembered, Tim Tebow did win a playoff game with Denver. He had an awesome overtime win over Pittsburgh. Tim Tebow's been a career winner at life.
My point.
And Greg, you know this. As a third-string tight end, this idea that he's going to be a distraction is total balderdash. Complete nonsense. Maybe he's going to line up on special teams and block.
That's it.
Not be a gadget guy like Taysom Hill, but block on special teams and, we'll put in one play for a fake to Tebow, or he's a blocker and he throws a pass. He's not going to be a target.
You're right.
He's going to be a leader in the locker room. Chris, you did hit on it. He is a man of faith. He's a believer. Presence in that locker room. A culture that's been toxic since they were in the AFC title game a few years ago. This is a losing franchise in the dead last market in the NFL with the worst attendance. All Tebow's going to do is help in all aspects. LeVar knows this. Tim Tebow will be a huge addition to that locker room. Urban Meyer needs to be applauded for bringing in Tebow, or the potential for bringing him in. I love the move for Jacksonville.
So if he's not going to play, just bring him on as a consultant. Just bring him on.
Bring him on as a culture guy. Why can't he be a culture guy? You know, Jared Dudley on the Lakers.
You both are talking about a player who is taking an opportunity from somebody else who potentially
how's he
could play.
taking it from somebody else?
Listen, no. Can I speak?
Yes.
Can I speak?
Yes.
No, because you both are saying even if he doesn't play, well, why are you signing him? Why are you going to bring him on the team if he doesn't contribute in a way that you
every
feel
team.
like is going to facilitate?
That's every team. Every team has players that practice that don't play. They're called practice squad guys that get put on live roster on the roster team.
You're correct. But not every